Well,
But
it's
so
total it's disbelief, like, right? Like everybody's facial expression is like, you're talking about Kool-Aid. This Kool-Aid. Like, it's like there's a short circuit in your brain going, do you really not know what Kool-Aid is? Or is this are you doing this as a troll? Are you like, is he acting? I mean, I don't know. I don't purchase Kool-Aid anymore, so it's not like I even know what's out there. I haven't gone to look for Kool-Aid since 1992. I mean, I'm not really sure, but like, it's not like I'm out there. Like when I bought Kool-Aid in college, it was because we learned this little trick where you would put it in the shower head and it would bleed, it would color somebody's hair,
yeah,
right? That that's what we used Kool-Aid for in undergrad. I don't know anybody who drank it. I mean, maybe, but like that's everybody's
yeah.
looking at him going, I think I have gotten significantly stupider just in the last 30 seconds. And he's gonna drink 3 gallons of Kool-Aid in a day. Like, welcome. It's Wilford Brimley's diabetes, like all over again, right? Like, what are you drinking that much shit for? But I couldn't. I mean, every time I see it, I'm just as flabbergasted. Like, it
No,
can't be real,
it's
can it? Are these people really this dumb? But it seems like they might be. So.
it when you started telling me about it, and first thing I thought was like my mom very seldom bought Kool-Aid because she was like she just called it sugar water,
She's
and
not
so
wrong.
it's
That's what my grandma called it.
like, no, I'm not buying you colored sugar water. Like, no, absolutely not. So this kid, because the sugar had to be added, he actually thought it was healthy.
Well, that's what he said. He was like, the packet, it's unsweetened, so it's super healthy for you. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
I
but
don't remember what it tastes like without sugar. I'm sure it's quite bitter, or it's probably
it
bitter, but
is. No, it's quite, if I remember right, it's quite bitter and it's nasty. You gotta put the sugar in it for
of
it to
course.
taste.
Well, that's how you get kids to drink it. But like, I've never seen an adult have Kool-Aid. Like, I mean, I've seen it, so maybe I should say it this other way. Like, I've never seen an adult without children drink Kool-Aid. Like, generally, the adults I've seen drink Kool-Aid are drinking it because their kids are drinking it and they're eating with their kids and they're doing whatever they're doing, right? Like, they're at a picnic, whatever it might be. But like, most adults aren't going out there and just buying themselves Kool-Aid anymore.
No, because I think most adults who grew up on Kool-Aid, then they move up to like Crystal Light, I think is
Yes.
like the next step. Or like
Yeah.
the peach tea or yeah, like,
Yes.
it's just a little more respectable, maybe a little more healthy.
A little bougie.
Yeah, I would agree. Like no self-respecting adult with no kids in the house is going to be buying Kool-Aid.
Nope.
But yet we all remember how to make it.
Well, that's because we were the ones who made it.
That is true. As a matter of fact, are you sure it's only 1 cup of sugar? Because I could have sworn I used to put 2 cups of sugar in
Oh, I don't know.
when
I
I
haven't
was.
made it in forever, but that's just what he said was like it calls for a cup of sugar. So
Yeah, but that kid also just told us it was good for you. So I'm not gonna listen
you
to
don't
how
think he
many
read the
cups of sugar.
directions correctly?
I don't think so. I don't. There's a lot. He's missing a lot of information. A lot of
Right.
information there.
That's true. Let's see.
I hope he's trolling. I really hope he is because I'm a little concerned.
I mean, none of it makes any sense. Makes two. Let's see. Are there any instructions here? It says it's gluten free. Let's see. Oh, this is lemonade mix. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. This doesn't call for sugar at all. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. I think I'm looking at a lemonade, so maybe lemonade wouldn't. Here's raspberry. Here I'm looking up the instructions. Directions. Empty contents into large plastic or glass pitcher. Add 1 cup of sugar or 1 cup of Splenda granulated. Add more or less to taste. Add cold water and ice to make 2 quarts. Stir to dissolve. Okay, so he must have had a quart pitcher. You probably My guess is you made a gallon pitcher like we did. So you probably did put 2 packets of Kool-Aid and 2 packets of sugar or 2 cups of
Yeah,
sugar.
prep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think also too, the sugar to taste, well, as a kid, is there ever too much sugar in something? I don't remember
No,
being under the age of like 12 and going, oh, this is too sweet. This has too much sugar.
right. Which is funny because like the nutrition label on this says 0 carbs, right? That's the packet. But then it has to actually have a separate little note here what it says when prepared with sugar, 1 serving is 100 calories, 25 total carbs, 25 grams of sugar. When it's with Splenda, it's 15 calories, 3 total carbs, and 3 total sugars. So, I mean, it's the same proportionally, but like we made gallon. Well, I think we probably had both, but I would not be surprised if you were making a gallon pitcher or you just were doing it to taste and your taste was I need more sugar and nobody
Well,
stopped us.
I, I was going through some stuff at the time. So I'm sure, the sugar helped, the little
Serotonin.
brain to cope. Yeah. Which was then help pave the way for future addictions. But you're right, like nobody watched us do it. So I'm sure there's generations of us who put in like way too much sugar. Especially
We
since
all
we figured
did.
out 2 days. But I had forgotten about just doing the using Kool-Aid as hair dye. I can't believe I forgot about that. Very common around Halloween.
I just remember it being a prank. I don't remember dying, so I don't remember the Halloween part of it because mostly when it was Halloween as I was older, I was working. So in
Yeah.
high school, I would have been at work on most Halloweens. Um, or I would have just been hiding because I did not want to deal with all the nonsense coming to the door. Um, in
Well, that's
small
what
town
dog
America.
that's what dogs are for. I have 2 antisocial chihuahuas and then I haven't had trick or treaters in years. But I'm thinking like back when like junior high and high school and like I'd always want to color my hair for Halloween and I could find like these sprays and they were like these just nasty like aerosol sprays that came like in neon colors, which was cool because it did change your hair color, but then it was like heavy duty dose. Remember Aquanet, like your mom or your grandma were okay. And so you couldn't then do like any kind of styling or anything because it would pull the hair out at the root. And then you couldn't really get it to like wash out. And then there were some, like I remember there was another one like you could kind of paint in or something, but then it wasn't bright. And so I don't remember doing it myself, but I did have some friends who for like Halloween for part of their costume would use Kool-Aid. And they didn't, I mean, they didn't care. It was the early 90s, so whatever. But
Mhm.
yeah, I do remember that kind of being like sometimes an alternative to some of the other crap that was available if you wanted a different hair color for Halloween.
Well, and it had
Yeah.
to be significantly cheaper.
Oh yeah. Well, and I mean you could still like I think the big thing was like, well, it stayed and then you could style your hair. afterwards, especially when you're talking like late 80s, early 90s with the big bangs and everything. There's a lot of work to do. And you
Yep.
wanted to make and you wanted to make sure that that color would go through because otherwise what's the point if you've already done your hair and you got the big bangs and then you spray and then the color doesn't even you know sink down. Now I want to try the Kool-Aid in the hair just to see what it would look like. I may have some job interviews coming up in the next few weeks, and maybe a little bit of purple or something to cover the gray would be good.